Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? How you guys doing today? It's Kyle and Mike from the Fantasy Phenom. We're back breaking down today's kind of 15 game slate. 14 game main on FanDuel. I'm sorry, on DraftKings. But 14 game main on both sides.
Correct.
There is a 15 game all day on FanDuel, and
DraftKings, no.
there's a 4 game turbo.
Yeah, DraftKings, they just have a turbo slate, like you said. It's like the 6 o'clock game included with the 7 o'clock games, which is going to be a very small turbo.
So I don't. This doesn't make sense. I don't know why they didn't just make the main at 3 o'clock my time or 6 o'clock your time, but whatever. Especially since there is late swap and everything. There's a
I don't
ton
know.
of postponed news that's gonna come out. I think we already have Boston and New York gone. That game's gonna be it's rescheduled for a doubleheader later in the year.
Yep.
Tampa Bay
July
Baltimore.
16th.
Yeah, Tampa Bay Baltimore is gonna try and play. There's no way the Mets and Braves are going to play. There's a 99% chance of rain until 2 a.m. I don't see this Philly game playing.
And
And
me neither.
where's that other game? There was one other game, wasn't there? Do you think Pittsburgh plays? Is Pittsburgh a rain
Yeah,
team?
I don't think so. I think it was just those three was the big one: Boston, Philly, New York, and then I guess Baltimore as well.
Baltimore's up to
The rain,
red now.
the rain's moving like up the East Coast, so
Yeah, it looks like Pittsburgh is good. Okay. Um, for what it's worth, the rain or Baltimore game was just upgraded to red from yellow, so they're gonna try and play, but it's gonna be interesting. If I'm you guys, I fade.
I bet you they play that game. I just would not play any of those pitchers, and the problem with that is again, if the pitchers don't go out there and play, then it affects the splits and the numbers. But it looks like to me, based on the numbers, that it'll be delayed from the start, which usually means the pitchers will still go out as long as there's not a delay exceeding like 90 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a lot of concerns here. I think it's interesting. I think again, it's safe to assume that they already canceled the Red Sox Yankees game. I think it's safe to assume they're going to do that with the Mets in New York and Philly. It's raining pretty hard here right now, so
Just looking at some of these home run numbers, man. So Jeremy is my guy, man. He just went in and updated all the stats, and it did its work on the sheet. So it updated a few of the guys. Texas stack is looking good now. It's got 4 players in green. Washington stack, of course, looks good, but that is a concern with the rain there. Of course, Colorado looks good. Uh, damn, dude, a San
there's some
Diego,
rain concern in Coors, correct?
yeah, 50% chance. San
So
Diego stack,
roll the dice as you wish.
San Diego stack looks really, really nice right now. So does an Arizona stack, your usual suspects. And there's a couple Giants on here that have some green. So if you value this for what it's worth, man, it was on the money yesterday. So let's review some of that. First of all, great call on Jesse Chavez, Mike. That ended up being a pitcher's duel. Unfortunately, Liriano did not get the strikeouts or even get the quality start. But he labored through.
Yeah, he got a lot.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I was watching it. Obviously, I had a vested interest in that game, and yeah, I think Liriano, man, he got a lot of weak contact, which is great for him, just not for us.
Yeah, he didn't pitch bad at all. Just not a great DFS play.
Right.
And
And Jesse Chavez, he like walked 5. He was just throwing. He was just winging it.
yeah. What is up, guys? Postpone chances, most likely. Yep, right there. Corey Dickerson as an elite one-off yesterday, and first at bat of the game, home run, bam.
I think
Matt
it was the
Day.
third leadoff home
Yep,
for him.
third one of the year already. Matt Davidson scored a 30% on the home run projections. That's the ceiling, the highest you can get. And sure enough, goes out, has a double and a home run yesterday. Great score. Super low owned, obviously against Jason Vargas. Um, I want to reiterate this because for those of you that watched the show yesterday, we talked about this stacking against the chalk. Who were the 2 chalk pitchers yesterday on DraftKings, Mike?
Yeah, man. Yesterday was the slate to do it, and I don't know, man. It seemed like not enough people listened. So
Jason
going up
Vargas.
against Garrett and Vargas, and sure enough, those are probably the highest owned pitchers I think I've seen on DraftKings in all season, man. Everybody was all over Garrett when it seemed like it was easy fade in Miller Park with this lineup. I don't know.
Sure enough, man.
There's not.
And I'm not saying it
I
works
don't think.
every single time, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and advocate to go out and stack against Kershaw, who I think is going to be chalk. I'm going to do it because that's what I do. But I'm not going to advocate for it because I still think, I mean, Kershaw is obviously no Vargas. But this also brings up another point, Mike. When has Jason Vargas ever been elite in his career?
That's what I was just about to say. I mean, it's just an obvious. If the chalk is a guy who is making his fourth career start and a 34-year-old guy that's never been good, then I'm gonna fade it. It's like if everybody's on a rookie and a player who's not good, then it's like fine. I'll roll the dice and not play those guys. But I mean, if the chalk like today is Kershaw and Danny Duffy, it's like, all right, well, I mean, these guys are pretty good, so it's not as easy as a decision as it was yesterday.
Their averages back up their performance, whereas Jason Vargas, I mean, Amir Garrett's a rookie, right? I mean, we don't have averages on him, but Jason Vargas has never been as good as he's been this year, and so there's always a regression to the mean most of the time. I felt it was, with Vargas. Did I expect it to be yesterday? I can't say I expected it, but from a tournament play, I definitely liked to fade him. I like I said, I didn't have him in any lines. I didn't have any Garrett, so immediately I was ahead of the
Same.
competition just from those two. Getting blown up, I was ahead of the competition. So
Mm-hmm.
what's up, JG? Who's the rookie pitcher starting? Who's the rookie starting today? There's no rookie starting today, not that I know of. I'm just talking yesterday. Amir Garrett was that guy. But yeah, I'm telling you, it's a strategy that's going to continue to, I think, separate you from the field. And it's a tournament strategy. It's baseball. It's volatile. You're not going to win every day. But more than not, I think if you can find pitchers that are chalk that shouldn't be, you can do some damage. And someone that I think is going to be interesting, and I'm really the only reason I think he'll be, I don't want to say chalk, but I think he'll be higher owned on DraftKings than he should be, is Ty Block for the Giants. You talk about Pitchers Park and AT&T. You talk about lefty versus Dodgers. And he's super cheap. You can really go Kershaw and Block and get some decent bats around them. I really don't think he should be high owned today. He's not a strikeout pitcher. He's been a reliever all year. He's making a spot start. So, what's his pitch count? If he doesn't strike out a ton, what's his upside?
Yeah, just to point out, I think there is a rookie on the slate. It's Dylan Covey. I think he's making his fourth career start.
There you go.
And Ty Block, man, we will continue to say this. What you want out of your pitchers when you're playing DFS is a strikeout pitcher that can go late in games. And I just don't know that Ty Block is going to have that long of a leash. I mean, he's not a career starter. Obviously, he's giving the shot to replace Bumgarner in the rotation here, so they want to see what he can do 3 times through the order, right? But they're not going to chance, a super high pitch count. Obviously, if he's super effective, they're going to let him go 80, 90 pitches. But I don't see them just throwing him out there and leaving him out there for the hell of it,
Yeah, no, I agree. So I don't know. It's like I said, it's still going to be a tournament play to stack against chalk. Obviously tonight that would be Giants and White Sox, because if you have Duffy versus them and Kershaw versus the Giants, for what it's worth, the White Sox don't have a bad implied run total. The Giants do. Giants are like 2.5. That's awful. So that's going to be super low owned. It's a late game. Kershaw is going to be high owned. I mean, I'll probably get most Giants players at under 2% ownership, but
yeah. Again, I'm not one to stack against Kershaw, but I could find a one-off play that will be super low owned.
I don't think Posey. Well, actually, Posey might be really low owned because we talk about punting catcher, but that's a guy that can hit lefties. Not saying he's hit Kershaw well, but I mean, all it takes is one mistake from Kershaw and a home run to separate you, right?
That's right.
So All right, let's start with this Houston-Cleveland game, man. We have Dallas Keuchel and Josh Tomlin. Josh Tomlin has been absolute garbage to start this year. He's been absolute, well, I don't want to say absolute garbage. He's not a good pitcher in general. I mean, over his career, high fly ball rate, high home run per nine, low strikeout rate. So everything's pointing towards a Houston stack, and I can get behind it. I like this Josh Reddick, Carlos Beltran top of the lineup. I like 1 through 4 a lot. And then I can even look at Brian McCann, Bregman. I mean, there's a lot to like up and down this Houston lineup.
Yeah, obviously I didn't do much research into this game because it's not included pretty much at all.
Yep.
Into what I was doing as far as building my lineups, but I agree. I'd much rather go after Tomlin than Keuchel, especially where Keuchel's been playing this season. He looking like he did a couple years ago, 2 years ago, right? 2015. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, to start the year, Tomlin is in 12 and a third innings. The batting average against is almost 400. He's given up. He's got an 11 ERA. So, like you said, just getting rocked right now. This game is in Cleveland, for what it's worth, but I don't know. I get behind Evan Gattis too. I think somebody you didn't mention that I like as well.
No, because I think you can go up and down this lineup.
Yeah. I was just thinking if you wanted a one-off in an all-day slate, that's where I would go.
Sorry, I got these lineups in, so I'm just updating them. Nationals is confirmed. Yeah, no. Didn't change. Matt Carpenter.
I don't think I'm going to pay for any Cleveland guys against Keuchel at this point.
Matt Carpenter was suspended today. Interesting. So a new lineup.
For what?
I don't know. I haven't read into it. I just see it. But it's going to change quite a bit.
I do like the Josh Reddick call, him leading off. Something else I can definitely get behind as a one-off. He's pretty cheap. Let's see what his price is.
All right, lineups are updated. Do you like? I don't think I stack against Dallas Keuchel at all.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, I don't think I pay for that today.
I mean, I'm not playing the all-day slate anyway, so this game is kind of irrelevant to me. But I can get if you want to.
Same.
Tampa Bay, Baltimore. So this game, like I said, does have a chance of rain out. It's probably the least worrisome of the East Coast games, but still worrisome nonetheless. Erasmo Ramirez and Wade Miley. So we talk about bad pitchers that are performing over their head. Wade Miley. I mean, due for regression, man.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of Wade Miley. I don't think I want to roster him. I don't think I want to roster either of these pitchers in Camden Yards, again, with the rain concern as well, being that if this game does decide to get delayed, there's always a chance that they don't even play at all. But there's a lot to like here, I think, in both lineups. Going against these pitchers, I think a Baltimore stack is in play. Adam Jones hitting one yesterday. Trumbo, I don't think you can play until his bat wakes up. And then obviously stack. Machado and Davis is always in play. And then on the other side, Ricky Weeks' first game back, I believe. Mm-hmm. Look at the numbers against righties for Wade Miley. All pretty solid there. Almost a 340 WOBA against righties. So I can get behind some Weeks or Tim Beckham maybe as a one-off to hit a home run.
Bruh.
Tim Beckham's been playing really well as of late.
So I'm going to show you guys, just because if this game plays, you talk about bad pitchers and targeting them. So this is obviously access for the premium guys, but
it's too small, man.
Okay, let me zoom in. How's that?
That's good.
Look at Baltimore's 1 through 5. So I set this up. I didn't
even look at that.
Yeah. I set this up. So it only includes guys in the starting lineup, and it's now including in batting order. So this is your 1 through 5. Your top 5 hitters are all over 10%. So anything over 10% is considered green, right? And this is what we used yesterday. This is what I was talking about with Matt Davidson, with the Arizona stack, things like that. You can find guys to stack against. You find stacks. It's pretty much laid out for you, a player pool of who you can stack and whatnot. Look at the Tampa Bay guys as well. Steven Souza, Longoria, Ricky Weeks, Tim Beckham, all those guys we talked about. So
I like this even more now with the Ricky Weeks. I mean, we said yesterday, Ricky Weeks, platoon player, coming back from injury. His price is going to be low. I think Tim Beckham at shortstop. There's not much to love at shortstop today as far as lower price guys. I think I like Beckham. Let's see his numbers as of late, man. I know he's been hot. 3,500 on DraftKings. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 game hitting streak going.
Yeah. Bro, I'm telling you, we're revolutionizing the game with this shit right here. Because we take logic, right, and then it's backing it up with numbers. In order to get that percent, in order to get into green, Mike, a player has to pass 7 tests.
Yeah, and that's again, and that's after, like I just said, I had Tim Beckham in my player pool before I even looked at any of the numbers. So that's just me watching the games, looking that he's swinging the bat well. You go in there, you see that he's passed 7 statistical category tests. That makes you feel a lot better about what you're looking at.
Exactly. So I'm telling you, man, that one column right there is going to be. I don't ever think there is a be all end all in baseball because of the amount of stats. But just the rigorous tests that these guys have to go through to get onto that sheet in green, which you guys, obviously I'm not going to display that data, but it's out there, I promise. Me and Jeremy got that.
Yeah. And so another thing is, then you take a guy like Mark Trumbo, you look at that data, he's over 20%, but the dude is not. I mean, this guy hit 47 home runs last year. He doesn't have one yet, so maybe if you believe in but I mean, I could make the case that was somewhat of a fluke season, man. I mean, this guy isn't like, Mark Trumbo, I don't think he's had 30 home runs in any given year. So paying $4,600 for a guy like Trumbo or he does have a home run in the season, but still, just not playing well at all. Even though all the numbers across the board all season have been saying, "Oh, this is a good play." So you do have to.
Well, I think it could go both ways.
Take stock.
We talk about pitchers regressing to the mean, right? If statistically over 3 years a batter is a good play, you would think that at some point he's going to regress to the mean. It's just a matter, and that's where you dig a little deeper and see how is he playing recently, right? Is he struggling? Is his bat starting to get up? Is he making solid contact? So,
yeah, and you alluded to, I think slumping for batters is more of a thing than pitchers. So I wait for the guy to get out of the slump before I start saying, okay, maybe he's going to start regressing to whatever mean you're talking about. But I don't want to. It's tough to bet on that game that he's going to break out of his slump.
Absolutely. Chicago and Pittsburgh. So wind blowing in to right field here. You got Kyle Hendricks on the hill. This guy is a contact pitcher. We talk about that. And you got Garrett Cole, who is a strikeout pitcher. But the thing to like about Garrett Cole is even though he's a high strikeout pitcher, he does not give up a lot of home runs, Mike. I mean, these are versus righties. I mean, you talk about an elite category, under 0.5 home runs per 9.
Yeah, he played really well against the Cubs not too long ago. This game was on the 14th, so that's 11 days. So he has 2 starts ago. I got the win. Only gave up 2 earned runs, no homers, struck out 5, had almost 20 fantasy points. So I think you probably got him at low ownership too. So 8,500, I think, for him is definitely intriguing to me against the Cubs in a pitcher's ballpark. Obviously, the Cubs' bats have somewhat woke up thanks to Cincinnati. But, yeah, I like it. I don't think you go after Hendricks again. It's not really a strikeout pitcher. I think he could easily get the win here, but it's not really a DFS play. And I don't think he's been playing very well either. He's had a terrible start to the season.
Who, Hendricks?
Yeah.
No, he hasn't been great. But again, I just can't, I won't roster a guy that's a contact pitcher.
Yeah, and he's 3rd highest on the slate, so maybe no thanks.
By the way, we just got the Twins lineup in, and I'm in heaven because this is one of my favorite stacks, and it lines up.
Is there Jimenez in there?
There's not, but it is Dozier, Kepler, Sano.
It is Jimenez, by the way.
Instead of Jimenez?
Yeah.
Oh, well. I love that stack, and I'm excited that that is now 1-2-3 in Texas. Oh,
So you're gonna go Byron Buxton as a one-off, right?
absolutely elite play. God, he's so infuriating, man. I was so high on that guy.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
So do you look at a Cub stack at all? I mean, for what it's worth, they do have good. They're all the top three are in the green: Schwarber, Bryant, and Rizzo. Um,
Dude, man, I think I might go back to Jason Hayward. Again, really cheap. Guy's been hitting the ball well.
yeah, I mean Hayward's at 7% for what it's worth, so it's not like that's a bad play.
Lefty ready. I think if I'm going to target anybody, I'd feel much better about playing Jason Hayward for 3,100 instead of Anthony Rizzo for 53.
Yeah, that's fair. I think Kutch is a one-off. Maybe Polanco, who has shown flashes, hasn't lived up to where he was last year. But if you wanted to go a little two-man, I can get behind McCutchen and Polanco.
Hendricks, he keeps the ball on the ground. Let me see.
Yeah, low fly ball rate, low hard contact, low low home run per 9. So, like I said, I mean, he's a contact pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
David Freese is not in the lineup, Theo. So I don't know who. I mean, you can play David Freese, but he probably won't get you many points today.
Yeah, it's hard to do that, I think, when he's on the bench. I mean, I know they do pinch hitting and stuff, so there's definitely some. Isn't that what it's called? Pinch hitting when they bring a guy off the bench. Yeah, there's a chance for that.
I mean, maybe number of cheers, number of times he stands up. I don't know. I don't know what Theo is looking at.
I don't know. You might get fractions of points for butt slaps. I'm pretty sure.
Theo just made himself. Theo's not going to live that one down. Miami and Philly. You got. Oh, I don't think this game's going to play for what it's worth. But if it does, you have Wei Chen and Vince Velasquez. So what worries me about Velasquez is home runs, hitter's park, and fly ball. So elite strikeout guy if he's on. But if he's not, man, home runs galore. We saw that.
Velasquez, where is he at? I'm looking for him to the StatCast numbers. Because surprisingly enough, Wei Chen's coming back as from StatCast at least this season as a guy that's getting a lot of weak contact when people do square it up. So maybe him and Teheran. I think if you want to take a chance on one of these rainout games with a pitcher, I would go there.
You like? Do you like Chen at all? Do you think? I don't know. I feel like that's low K upside.
It is. But I mean, he's put up 2 20-point DraftKings games without having 5 strikeouts. So maybe he has 6 strikeouts in a big game. I mean, again, it's just what StatCast is, guys. I mean, it's looking beyond the numbers, right, to see what is going on as far as how these balls are being hit. And so, for example, the top 3 guys that StatCast says on this season, minimum 50 times the ball's been hit off one of their pitches. Waka, Chen, and Arrieta are the top 3 guys as far as weak contact. So there's definitely something in there, right? I mean,
yeah,
something to be said about that.
Tis fair.
Now, if you're looking, I think probably a better number to look at is if you're diving deep into stats is probably swing and miss rate, because if you're looking for strikeout pitchers, you want guys that are on. Perhaps there's something to be said about kind of cross-referencing a swinging strike rate versus a K rate to see if something like Liriano yesterday. He was getting a lot of swinging strikes, but didn't really end up getting a strikeout. So
yeah, that's fair. I mean, his slider has to be on.
Mm-hmm.
See, I kind of liked an Aaron Alter, Tommy Joseph, and Cameron Rupp play.
Pau Judge.
But I don't know. I'm not going to take the risk on this game, quite honestly. I'm just going to stay. I'm really fading the East Coast games today.
Yeah, me too. I really didn't even take a look at this game. There's no reason to. Again, it's pouring here. I'm like 40 miles from Philly right now, so I don't think that this one is worth it.
Seattle, Detroit, you have a king from 5 years ago in Felix and Jordan Zimmerman. So I can see,
Another guy.
yeah, I can see a Seattle stack, and I can see a very small Tiger stack. I kind of like Upton and Avila, but other than that, not really much from Detroit. On Seattle, I can see Robbie Cano, Nelson Cruz. I can see Taylor Motter. Um, Theo is in love with Daniel Vogelbach. The dude does have his. I mean, his minor numbers are really good. He has a lot of power. He's patient, so he does take some walks. Doesn't strike out at an extremely high clip.
Um, do they just call him up
They
or?
did, yeah. He just got called up. Theo's been pretty much drooling over him. He's like Aaron Judge for you.
No, I'm sure. Yeah, getting back to the pitchers before I dive into the lineups, I think Zimmerman, his price is rarely low, 6,400 on DraftKings. It's
That
one of
is
the cheaper
crazy
guys,
low. But there's no strikeout.
Yeah, that's the thing is he's just been playing poorly, man. So he's got an ERA above 6 or almost 6 as of right now, and just hasn't really. I guess he had a quality start versus Boston, but still, just watching him pitch doesn't seem very exciting play. I think I'd much rather play Felix Hernandez, but again, there's $3,000 difference in price. Detroit generally doesn't strike out much. If we look at the numbers here, strikeout percentage as to start the season. I don't know. It's not loading. Anyway, it's not anything to look at. So I don't think I really take a chance on Felix. It's something I thought about doing though, just because.
I'm not touching Felix. I'm not doing it.
I don't know, just to fade again. It's a totally different story on DraftKings. You have to have two guys, and if you're trying to fade the chalk off the two highest priced guys, I don't want Hendricks, I don't want Tehran, I don't want Velasquez, I don't want Shin, I don't want Santana. So it's like that leaves me with Cole and Felix, So something I looked at. Let's see. Wow. Anyway. It's tough to load anything while Skype's running.
It's a data hog, I'm telling you. That's why I hate Skype. But for the time being, it's all we have. Yeah, I could see a Seattle stack. I'm not touching the Tigers. I'm not touching Felix. I'm not touching Zimmerman. So if I had to go there, I'd go Seattle stack. But that's about.
I like that Taylor Motter and Segura are both in the lineup. I hope that stays. I hope it stays.
Looks like someone just said the video is buffering.
That would make sense.
If it is, just refresh the page. It should work.
Detroit is actually a top 8 in strikeout percentage this year. Does that surprise you?
It does.
And they actually are hitting the ball on the ground a lot.
But Motter should play like a utility. Yeah, Seager is hurt. That is true. So, all right. I really don't think, like I said, I don't think this game is playing, but I guess we'll just give some quick notes on it anyway. If it does play, a Met stack is definitely in play. Conforto. Cespedes is not going to play if it does play. So, Conforto.
Yeah, definitely not.
Conforto, Bruce Walker I can look at. And then from the Brave side, obviously Freeman and Kemp. But other than that, I'm not going to touch the pitchers. Obviously in a game that could delay mid-game if it does even start. So you only look at batters in this game, only.
Yep, Conforto is a guy that I want on my team if this game plays. That's all I got.
Yeah, so.
He's been playing really well. I don't know that I... What about Gazelman at this game? I don't know, man. I think Gazelman could be
not doing it, man.
Interesting play.
With the risk of rain, dude. It's not worth it.
There's no way. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't have anybody in this game or any of the 3 games that are risky.
Even if it does play, the risk of it delaying mid-game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth it for me. Russell Martin is playing third base tonight for the Jays.
Damn. They better be shifting a lot so they get some guys next to him.
Do I have that lineup updated? Let me see. I mean, it'll still
What?
list him as catcher. Oh, I don't have it updated yet. I don't even have the lineup in, but...
Why?
What?
I mean, I know Ryan Goins has, like, the range of a cheetah, but... Still. Yeah.
I don't
That's
see...
interesting.
I don't see...
Is he really playing third base?
I don't know where Jordan got that from. I don't see the lineup out yet, but I'll believe him.
It's interesting.
So Cincinnati, Milwaukee, like I said, dude, with the Core's concern, with all the East Coast concern, God, dude, this game is... I feel like this is the last game to really get the high total from. I think everyone's going to be on this game. We saw what happened yesterday. We have two pitchers that aren't good.
Yeah, so with VR, I think starting there, leading off for Milwaukee, obviously this is a good splits for him, a nice matchup for him. You got Dozier at 5K, VR at 46, Odor at 44. I think you can make the case for all three guys. If you're just going one off, do you think VR is that guy, or do you think you kind of try to get a home run out of Dozier and Odor?
Man, I'm going all Dozier. You already know I'm on a twin stack, so I'm all Dozier. What's up, Antoine?
Right. But if you're going one off, do you think Dozier over VR?
Dozier.
I think so. Both in good ballparks. I think these are the two games that I'm looking a lot at.
That's fair.
Milwaukee, the one in Miller, and what's it called? Globe Life Park now.
Yeah, but from Milwaukee, I think Thames is a good play. I think Shaw is a good play. I think both those guys really... So the three guys that show up green are Thames, Shaw, and Pena. Even Braun is right there. Thames for obvious reasons. I mean, you talk about it with small sample size, so take that into account. But the dude has obviously got legit power. I love a Brewer stack today for cash. For GPP, I don't think I can do it, man. I'm all in on twin stack for GPP.
Yeah, I don't think you can go. I don't think Thames is really a GPP play after last night.
Like I said, he's going to be mad cash, so...
Maybe that... I think maybe Hernan Perez's bat woke up, or maybe he was just facing Garrett having pretty poor stuff yesterday.
By the way, if I saw this right, Hernan Perez is playing shortstop today.
Maybe. They want to get his bat in the lineup.
Has he played shortstop before?
I don't know.
Unless there's another Perez on the Brewers that I'm missing, man, because that was who I got.
Let's see. Hernan Perez.
I just want to make sure I have the right guy, because if it's not Hernan Perez...
He's playing shortstop.
Wow.
Actually, I think he's shortstop eligible on DraftKings, actually, so that makes sense.
All right, well, there you go. I didn't realize that...
I believe he is. Let me make sure.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is. Shortstop eligible on DraftKings. Yeah, I mean, I guess they want to get this big guy's bat in the lineup.
Makes sense.
It's obviously... Yeah, he hit a home run yesterday, but that's about all he's got going for him as of late. This is a guy that was batting cleanup to start the year, so... Yeah.
So I can get behind this, man. I like a Brewer stack. I love a Cincy stack again against Zach Day. I mean, neither of these guys strike out batters, right? So I think you can definitely look to attack both of them. Don't even buy into this, in my opinion. So Milwaukee strikes out a lot, yeah. But when you're facing a pitcher that doesn't strike out a lot of people, why? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. Don't do that.
Yeah, Milwaukee strikes out a lot. We talked about this yesterday. They also far and away lead the league in isolated power, like by almost 40 points.
That's a lot in ISO, by the way.
That's a lot. Yeah, they do strike out a ton, but I think if you're trying to target a team that strikes out a ton,
you need a strikeout. You need an elite strikeout pitcher.
Yeah, I would not be going to there. The guy that's intriguing me for that reason is Taijuan Walker today, going up against the Padres, who strike out a ton. And when his stuff is on, he tends to be a strikeout type of pitcher.
So I think both this is a full game stack in effect today. Like I said, I kind of like Tucker Barnhart.
Oh wait, Taijuan Walker's not on this slate. Never mind.
I like Tucker Barnhart. I can go back to Cozart. I like Schebler. I like Duval. I like Votto. You can throw in Billy Hamilton if you want. From the Milwaukee side, obviously VR, Thames, Braun, Shaw. I like Pena. I don't. Hernan Perez, I guess if he's hot. I don't know if I'm gonna attack that though. I think I go with the more proven guys.
Pina Colada.
There you go.
Once again.
All right, so here's my stack of the day, man, and I hope it's low, and I really do, because I think everyone's on this other game, and everyone is on Kershaw and Duffy, and these guys are not cheap, so I'm all over it, man. So Dozier, Kepler, Sano, that's my stack right there, and then I got Castro as a one-off, or not a one-off, but a catcher as well at 6. So I like that. From the Texas side, there's a couple guys that show up green as well, which I can get behind, and those are...
I imagine you can kind of guess who they are.
It is Carlos Gomez, Mike Napoli, Odor, and Gallo, actually.
Yep.
But here's the thing. I actually think
Carlos Gomez is a little surprising. I was going to think the other 3.
I actually think that Irvin Santana is not a fluke this year. I think that he's been a good pitcher in his career, right? So
yeah.
I don't think that he's a bad pitcher by any means. I don't see him as a Jason Vargas that's gonna regress to me.
Yeah. I don't know that I want to play Irvin Santana in Texas, but I don't know that I mean, the dude's been on the money so far to start the season, so I don't feel like I want to stack against him right now either. If that makes sense to you.
Yeah, I don't think I play Irvin Santana, but I'm not going to stack against him.
Right. That's what I was saying. Who's this? Who's Cashner, right? I can't see the screen.
Yeah, Andrew Cashner.
Pitching.
Andrew Cashner. Yeah, and 22 miles per hour wind blowing in from left field. So
Cashner. Looking for his name on this StatCast board. But yeah, I totally agree with you, man. I like that 1 through 3. I could even get behind Polanco as well. I think he's pretty cheap at shortstop. Shortstop's kind of a position today that kind of have to take a chance if you're not paying up. I don't know if you feel the same. Cashner, 26.5%. Not bad.
I can play against Cashner. I'm not afraid of him. Kansas City White Sox. So we talked about Duffy being chalk. I do think Duffy's a good pitcher. I think there's legitimacy to him being chalk. If that is the case, you can definitely target Dylan Covey. But you know what, dude? I'm gonna stick with my strategy. I'm gonna stack against Duffy. I was all on him this morning because I love him and his potential. But upon hearing that, you know, everyone else is on him, I'm not doing it, man. I'm gonna fade him, and I'm gonna stack against him in a lineup. And so I got Jose Abreu. I have Todd Frazier. No, I lied to you. I'm sorry. I have Matt Davidson. I have Todd Frazier, Avisel Garcia, and Tim Anderson, who's leading off.
Yeah, again, I'll restate it. Again, it was Vargas yesterday. Chicago White Sox strikeout. Bottom 5 team strikeout percentage, and also a bottom 5 team in isolated power to start the season. So those are the 2 numbers I kind of look at a lot as far as DFS relevance when I'm choosing my pitcher. Obviously, ownership is big too.
Yep.
It's huge. So
I think
it's a lock or fade situation. So I mean, I do really like targeting Covey. I really don't think people are going to be on Kansas City. They've been really bad.
They're desperate with this lineup right now. Moose is leading off. Never seen that before. You got Alex Gordon batting 5th. They got Jorge Bonifacio in the lineup, who did hit his first home run the other day. Brandon Moss is down to 8. Obviously, he's been struggling.
Yeah, so I think Moss is interesting as a one-off. Obviously, the numbers we talked about that with Trumbo. All the numbers say yes, but they've been saying yes, and he's been doing nothing. So he's in a little bit of a slump. Let me see here. We talked about Sal Perez, obviously. He had that streak of home runs where he hit 5 in a row. Well, he still only has 5 home runs this year. So his price has been steady dropping. But again, this guy's a rookie. I watched this whole game in Yankee Stadium. It was pretty much like home run derby in the Bronx that night.
Yeah, no, fair. So I think you can make a case to stack. It does have a relatively high total. Obviously, Kansas City's favored. What surprises me is that Kansas City is not favored heavily, Mike. When you look at Duffy and Covey,
It should be more. Yeah, I agree.
should be. So
It's got a lot to do with this offense.
that worries me, man. I think that's why that more so validates my Chicago stack today, and I think it'll be low owned, obviously, and I hope Duffy's high owned at this point because I'm not playing him. So
Yeah, I think Abreu's interesting. Again, I played him yesterday randomly. I just kind of had the money to, and it worked out pretty well. He ended up returning 12 points, which isn't terrible. But yeah, he's still looking for his first home run. So if you believe in Dew and perhaps the bat waking up and getting him at low ownership, I think this is a spot for that. Hosmer's another guy still looking for, or he has a home run, but just in a terrible slump right now. The ball's just been getting hammered into the ground. Like, it's just what he's been doing recently. So
their ISO as a team is terrible.
It's not even like he's getting the ball in the air. He's just hammering the ball into the dirt. He's had a terrible stretch here.
Obviously, fading both Duffy and Kershaw. If you didn't hear me yet, I'm fading Kershaw 100%. These are my two pitchers, and they're both from the same game, Marco Estrada and Michael Wacha. So Marco Estrada's numbers do not indicate, a must play here at all. High home run per 9, high fly ball rate, extreme fly ball pitcher. But there's some strikeout potential. We talk about the Cardinals have not been hitting well as a team. Now Matt Carpenter is out of the lineup. That just further validates this play for me. I'm all aboard Marco Estrada. And then Michael Wacha, man. Toronto's averaging about 10 strikeouts a game right now. So give me Michael Wacha, who has some K upside. Obviously 8 Ks, 7 Ks per 9 there, right? 7.5 to 8 Ks per 9. And a low home run per 9, low fly ball rate. I like some Michael Wacha, man.
Yeah, I'm also on Wacha for the same reasons I guess I was on Chavez yesterday, and then some. Obviously this guy's been playing pretty well. There's a lot to like about him as when he was coming up as a prospect. I don't know that he's kind of panned out to the ace that they thought he was going to be, but still, guy's played well to start the year.
I think
numbers-wise,
there's one player that I like on Toronto, and it's Kevin Pillar. And again, I just want to reiterate this. These numbers are indicated for power, right? So a high WOBA, a high ISO are extra base hits and power. Pillar is not and I quote, power guy. He'll get some doubles, but he's more of he's just a prototypical leadoff guy for me. He's an on-base guy, gets on base, steals a bag, scores a run. So I love Pillar in this leadoff spot. I think he's comfortable there, but that's the only guy on Toronto that I'm even looking at. But I don't have him in a lineup.
The problem I have with Wacha on DraftKings is that, again, that you need to play 2 pitchers, and these are the people around Wacha's price. Gazelman, Miley, Zach Davies, Jordan Zimmerman.
Wacha's an easy play.
So, exactly. It's an easy play for everybody. So I'm thinking on DraftKings, when you have to play 2 guys and you want to play Kershaw or Duffy, you look down here to find some savings, and there's nobody except for him.
What's Wacha's price?
6,800.
And what's Ty Block's price?
56.
I don't know. My gut tells me Duffy and Wacha make sense to me. My gut tells me that if people play Kershaw, they're going to pay right down to Ty Block because of the low implied total, the low game total. I think it's a bad move, but I think people are going to do it.
I don't know, man. I really don't see why I would play Ty Block over Michael Wacha given the same price range. I don't think it's very smart at all.
I agree with you. I just think people are going to do it because they're going to see that extra $1,000, $1,200 in savings, and it'll, especially with Kershaw being 14-3 on DraftKings, the number of bats you can get, that $1,000 can make a difference from, an average bat to, and I quote, an elite bat or an above average bat, and people might take that seeing as though, oh, Ty Block, lefty versus Dodgers, I just need a couple points.
Maybe. I think I would much rather play Patrick Corbin at 5K if I'm really punting. You know what I'm saying? Or even Dylan Covey for them. I know I just shitted on him, but still he's playing Kansas City, who's
struggling.
Struggling. So Corbin, he just played San Diego, put up 20 DraftKings points, struck out 8. I mean, I just talked about how Padres strike out. I don't know. I think Wacha's going to have a good bit of ownership on DraftKings today. I'm pretty confident with that.
But see, I like on FanDuel, I don't think either of these two pitchers are going to have high ownership. Marcus
I agree.
Marcus Estrada at 8.3, Danny Duffy's 9.7, so most people, I think, pay up there. Michael Wacha is down at 7.7. You talk about really no one. He's in that mid-tier range, man, and this is where on FanDuel you can really differentiate yourselves. People either pay up or they pay down for pitcher. No one ever really targets a mid-range guy.
And generally on DraftKings, they pay up for one and they target a mid-range guy. You generally don't pay down. You never pay down for both. Sometimes you can pay up for both, but most of the time it's one high-price guy, one middle-range guy. That's what I'm seeing as far as ownership.
Yeah.
And so that's why I feel like Wacha's going to be that guy people kind of target just because there's really nobody around him. Maybe you see two guys in the upper mid-range. People go for two guys there. I've done that with some success. Fade the top tier and find two guys in the top middle tier roster.
That's fair. Washington, Colorado. You got Joe Ross, Herman Marquez. I fade both these pitchers. I think you can look at a Washington stack if this game plays. Obviously, it's going to be lower ownership now with not only price but rain concerns. So, sorry, I have to speed this up. I got 15 minutes before I got to leave.
Oh shit! I didn't even realize.
Eaton, Turner, Harper, I think I look at, and then obviously on Colorado, you can look up and down this lineup. Blackman's still an elite play. Arenado, Gonzalez, Trevor Story.
Yeah, I want Trey Turner in my lineup today for some reason. I'm just having that feeling.
I can get behind that. So yeah, I like a 1 through 3, even a 1 through 4. I'm not as high on Zimmerman today. If I could, I would go 1 through 3 and then 5 with Daniel Murphy. But that's my take on it.
Yeah, Bryce Harper and Coors is it's like paying for a Ferrari.
It's expensive as fuck. So you gotta really figure out what you want to do there.
Yeah, one-offs today in this game. I like Tony Wolters, 8 spot right before the pitcher. We talked about that. He is cheap, and he gets the righty-lefty matchup with Ross. Yeah, I don't know. Off of Washington, I like I said, there's not much life at shortstop today, so Trey Turner is someone I'm trying to get. Probably won't happen there.
Probably won't happen though. Yeah, I don't touch these pitchers either.
I'll probably get him in a lineup.
San Diego, Arizona. I love this game too, man. I think this is gonna have low ownership. It's a later game, and I really like the hitters in this lineup, man. So I'm all over Will Myers. I'm all over Will Myers. I'm all over Hunter Renfroe. I like Austin Hedges as well. Remember, so this is kind of a breakout year for him. So these numbers are not really truly indicative of what he's done so far.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Schimpf is still home run or nothing. Dude he literally has struck out almost half of his plate appearances right now. That's really bad. He has a 102 average. 102.
Yeah, he's definitely home run or nothing. Again, I will have Patrick Corbin somewhere. I don't know, just to punt and try and get some Coors exposure. Especially if we're going to get Coors at low ownership due to 50% rain today. I think it'd be dumb not to have one lineup there. But yeah, I go right back to Arizona, man. This team, I think, is going to make a case in the West. And the Giants are going to have to hope for something to happen, man. Because I don't know. I just feel like This team is built to win. They've been hitting the ball really well.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to Arizona and Colorado this year. Honestly, I don't think Dodgers are
That's true
good.
too.
I don't think Dodgers are
Colorado.
good, and I don't think the Giants are good. So,
I like Owens and Mathis. You know, get your shortstop and catcher out of the way.
yep, I love Owens today.
So, you know, there's such a cheap 2-man stack to get some exposure to this lefty. Who look at this versus righties, man. An OBP of 358. That's really bad. So
Real quick, I just want to address it. So if people are asking questions of who I want to go, let me do the slate real quick, and then with like the last 5 minutes, I'll just go through my punts and everything, just so I can kind of
okay,
address that. Oakland and LA. So I think Oakland's going to be chalky, especially on FanDuel. There's not a lot of research on JC Ramirez, obviously. So career, reliever, but and minor guy. Jesse Hahn has pitched actually pretty well for Oakland, but not a high strikeout guy. I don't think I roster him, but a lot of people are on this Oakland stack today of, Vogt, Davis, Alonso.
yeah, no, I agree. I think it's extremely cheap on DraftKings. I think you can throw Jed Lowry in there as well, a switch hitter that has been playing well. So yeah, it's extremely cheap. All these guys are under 3,000. It really does allow you. I did make a lineup with Clayton Kershaw and Danny Duffy.
Surprise, surprise.
So I think
this game is rained out.
Which one? The Mets game?
Yep, gone.
Yeah. But yeah, I did make a lineup with Kershaw and Duffy, and you kind of have to go with this stack in Oakland. And I don't think I hate it. My best line this year was going Strasburg and Syndergaard and stacking Oakland. I made the most money off that lineup all year. So
I like Alonso. I think Davis can hit either side of the plate and then vote. I can get behind Lowry as well. Other than that, I don't really like it too much. Joyce, I guess, is a punt if he starts down at 8, but we'll see. I think Mike Trout is still going to be an elite one-off, right? He's the one guy in the Angels that I'll touch. Andrelton Simmons has played well this year, but I don't think I think there's some regression to come there.
it's interesting to see what the Dodgers do with their lineup today.
Yeah, I mean, you got Ty Block. I'd imagine probably. I don't think Andrew Toll starts. Probably they probably go. They don't have Logan Forsythe. Who's gonna lead off? They don't have Jock Peterson.
Yep, it's gonna be interesting, man.
I don't know who they're gonna have lead off. I guess we'll find out. I'll update that as it comes in. But so we talked about Clayton Kershaw. I mean, elite. I mean, everything in just nice green numbers. The strikeouts are top of the slate. And then Ty Block, who I mentioned, does not have good strikeout numbers at all. I think he's going to be on an innings limit or pitch count, so I really don't think he's a good play. I know lefty versus Dodgers, but I can't do it, man. I can't justify this play.
Yeah, I don't really think it's a good play at all. I don't think you're going to get more than 5 innings out of him. I'll be very surprised.
Yeah, so I'm not going there.
Even if he gets a strikeout an inning, which would be a great K per 9, right?
Yeah.
If he gets 5 innings, gets 5 strikeouts, I don't trust him to go no-hitter, so it's just really not a safe play as far as DFS is concerned, in my opinion.
From the Giants, I did mention I was going to make one lineup stacking against Kershaw. That lineup's already in, and I'm not changing it. It is Brandon Belt, it is Buster Posey, it is Brandon Crawford, and it is Hunter Pence. So I'm going 1, 2, 4, 5. I can make a case for Eduardo Nunez as well today, but I'm gonna roll with Pence, Belt, Posey, and Crawford.
What's this Christian Arroyo guy? Is he where does he bat?
I think he's gonna bat 7th again. He is by.
Is he a righty or lefty?
He's a righty. Far and away our best prospect in the organization, but that's not saying much because our organization or our farm system is trash. But he did kill it at AAA, so there is that. I mean, he has hit well, no joke. Real quick, Arizona.
Everybody hits well in the PCO, though.
Fuck you, Mike.
Seriously, I mean, look at the numbers.
Oh, yes. Yasmani Tomas is hitting cleanup today. AJ Pollock, Chris Owings, Paul Goldschmidt, Yasmani Tomas.
Wow.
I'm in heaven. That is my stack
Yeah.
right there.
Definitely will have a lot of that. I agree. So no Peralta, obviously, versus the lefty.
Chris Iannetta is batting. That is a punt catcher. Yes, I'm so happy
Is
right now.
Jake Lamb still batting fifth?
Jake Lamb is out.
Wow. So who are they going to put at third base?
Nick Ahmed or Daniel Descalso. I'm sorry, Daniel Descalso.
Descalso. So at 5.
Yes, this looks so nice right now. God damn it! Look at this Arizona stack now, dude. Look at this. Oh.
Yeah, it looks pretty nice.
However, for what it's worth, instead of Paul Goldschmidt, I'm going Will Myers. I just like Will Myers better versus Corbin. He's cheaper as well. Allows me to get that stack in there.
A little bit cheaper.
I want to see what Ionetta's price is now, because now I got to fit him in with that Diamondback stack. I have Owens, Tomas, and Pollock. Why do I keep saying Pollock? What the fuck is Ionetta? Damn it, Ionetta's 2,600. What the fuck?
Is that expensive? It's super cheap on DraftKings.
Well, it doesn't fit with the lineup that I had in.
Alrighty.
Okay, so real quick, I know a couple questions. So, my favorite punt catcher is going to be Chris Iannetta now.
I'm still going Steven Vogt, man. I don't know.
Jason
2,900, I mean.
Jason said Block did throw 8 shutout innings against the Dodgers last year. Yeah, but I just don't think they let him go 8 innings. I don't even think they let him go 7, maybe 6 at most. I mean, he's been out of the bullpen all year. So,
yeah, and I imagine this is a spot start. Again, they're trying to find somebody to replace Bumgarner. So if he's going to start getting into a rotation, think of it like spring training. With what are their starters in spring training? They start with 4 innings, then they go to 5 innings.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that extreme, but you know what I'm saying, right?
I know what you're saying. Exactly. Just looking over this lineup.
Looking at these I'm excited to play with these stack numbers with the home run projections today. I think it's going to be exciting to watch.
Do I have a punt third baseman?
I still can't believe. Yeah, dude. I'm just about to say, look at Justin Turner. Justin Turner is $400 cheaper on DraftKings today.
Todd Frazier, Joey Gallo. That game's not going to play. If it does, Maikel Franco. Theo likes Trevor Plouffe. I'm not on board with that, but I would say Joey Gallo at 33, Evan Longoria 33. That's about the lowest I go.
I think on DraftKings, man,
25.
Justin Turner at 3,300 is really cheap for him. I mean, the dude's batting almost 400 this year. He's facing a lefty. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're facing a lefty in block. Mike Moustakas leading off too, 3,200. I think if you're playing DraftKings, I think he could be a good punt. Matt Davidson hit a home run yesterday, 2,900.
Is he third base eligible?
Third baseman. He's only third base eligible.
So he's first base on the FanDuel.
But I believe he plays third.
Yeah, which kind of sucks. So I like Walker with a Padres D-back stack with 2 1-offs. Yes, I like that. What players in an Oakland stack? Real quick. So okay,
I went Lowry, Vogt, Davis, Alonso, whatever version of that.
So, all right, guys. I apologize. I do have to get to class. I have a class in 10 minutes, so I'm literally
let's probably do that.
Running out the door. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be in Slack. You can hit me up on Twitter. I can still answer questions, all that. I just can't obviously be on the show. So hit us up. We'll take care of you. As always, if you'd like to subscribe, that link down below, you'll get everything we offer. 7-day free trial. Thank you guys again. Have a wonderful day, and we will talk to you soon.
See you guys. Good luck.